every evening at exactly 8:17 p.m., someone turned on the lights inside an abandoned house. The house had been empty for nearly 12 years. No electricity, no owner, no one living inside. Yet every single night, the lights came on for exactly 3 minutes. Then they went dark again. The neighbors finally called 911. What detectives discovered inside would reopen a missing child case everyone believed was over. The house sat alone on Cedar Lane, outside a small town near Asheville, North Carolina. Windows covered in dust, mailbox hanging open, grass taller than the porch. Olivia Carter watched the lights every night from her kitchen window. At first, she assumed teenagers were sneaking inside. Then she noticed something impossible. Nobody ever entered. Nobody ever left. Every night, 8:17, 3 minutes, dark again. On the 7th night, she called the sheriff's office. Sheriff Daniel Ross arrived first. He walked around the property. No footprints, no broken windows. Every door still locked. Detective Ethan Brooks joined him 20 minutes later. Power company records confirmed electricity had been disconnected 11 years earlier. So, what exactly was producing the light? Ethan requested a search warrant. The front door was forced open. Dust exploded into the air. Nothing had moved for years, or so it seemed. The living room was empty. Kitchen cabinets, empty. Bedrooms, untouched. Then Ethan noticed something strange. The dust on the staircase was disturbed. Only one set of footprints, fresh, leading upstairs. None coming back down. Sheriff Ross quietly looked at him. Both men drew their flashlights and climbed. The second floor held only 2 bedrooms. One completely empty. The other locked from the inside. Ross forced the door open. Inside stood nothing but an old wooden chair, a battery-powered lantern, still warm. Someone had been there minutes earlier. But the room had no windows large enough to escape. No attic, no closet. Nobody, just silence. And one small object lying beneath the chair. A child's red sneaker. Still clean, still new. The sneaker belonged to a 10-year-old boy who disappeared 3 years earlier. Mason Carter, Olivia's son. DNA testing later confirmed it. The entire sheriff's office froze. Mason had vanished while riding his bicycle home from school. Despite thousands of volunteer search hours, he was never found. Until now. Or so everyone hoped. Ethan reopened the investigation immediately because someone wanted them to find that shoe. The crime lab finished processing the room 2 days later. Only 3 usable fingerprints were recovered. Sheriff Ross, Detective Brooks, and someone else. The unknown print didn't belong to any officer. It also didn't match anyone in the National Criminal Database. But one piece of evidence changed everything. A tiny security camera hidden inside an old smoke detector. It wasn't 12 years old. It had been installed recently. Someone had been secretly watching that room for weeks, maybe months. Someone wanted to know exactly when the police arrived. Detective Brooks pulled traffic camera footage from every road leading to Cedar Lane. At 7:58 p.m., just 19 minutes before the lights appeared, one vehicle drove toward the abandoned house. A white utility van. No company logo, no front license plate. 5 minutes later, the same van drove away. The rear plate was barely visible. Only 4 characters could be read: 7K21. It wasn't enough for an arrest, but it was enough to narrow thousands of vehicles to just 23. While investigators searched the property again, Ethan noticed something everyone had missed. The old lantern wasn't the real source of the light. Behind the chair, a thin electrical wire disappeared into the wall. It wasn't connected to the abandoned house. It ran underground, across the backyard, toward another property. The neighboring house, occupied by one man, Tyler Grant, 43 years old, friendly, helpful. The first neighbor to volunteer during Mason's search 3 years earlier. The man who brought coffee to volunteers. The man everyone trusted. A search warrant was approved before sunrise. Inside Tyler's garage, detectives found rolls of underground electrical cable identical to the one beneath the abandoned house. Receipts, power tools, fresh soil on heavy work boots, but nothing connected him directly to Mason. Then a forensic technician opened an old filing cabinet. Inside were hundreds of photographs, every one taken from long distance. Children leaving school, families walking dogs, parents unloading groceries. Every picture had handwritten dates, times, notes. One folder carried a single name: Mason Carter. Tyler denied everything until detectives searched beneath his workshop floor. Ground-penetrating radar revealed a narrow underground passage. The tunnel stretched beneath the property, ending directly below the abandoned house. Inside, investigators found children's clothing, old bicycles, backpacks, and Mason. Alive. Weak. Frightened. But alive. He had spent 3 years hidden beneath 2 ordinary houses, less than a mile from his own home. Tyler had carefully avoided attention by moving only at night, using the abandoned house as a decoy whenever he sensed police activity. The mysterious lights weren't accidents. They were bait. He wanted investigators focused upstairs, while Mason remained hidden below. Months later, Mason slowly began rebuilding his life. Therapists asked what had frightened him most: the darkness? The tunnel? Being alone? He quietly shook his head. The scary part, he whispered, was that he always smiled. Detective Brooks later admitted one detail still haunted him. Tyler Grant had spent 3 years helping organize community searches, standing beside Mason's own mother, pretending to hope the boy would come home. Some monsters don't hide in abandoned houses. They tidy in plain sight. This has been the Dark Truth Files. This story is fiction, but its lesson is real. Sometimes, the people who look the most helpful are the last people anyone thinks to question.